The collapse in oil prices, coupled with the COVID-19 pandemic, has plunged the Nigerian economy into a severe economic recession, the worst since the 1980s. This is the second time the country has entered recession in 5 years, and the third time Nigeria has fallen into recession under the leadership of Muhammadu Buhari. The first was in 1984, when he was the military head of state. In June 2020, the World Bank already urged Nigerians to prepare for a severe economic recession, the worst since the 1980s. This recession is particularly biting because it is more of stagflation. Ideally, when in a recession, because demand for goods and services are low, the rate of inflation slows down, drops, or becomes negative. This is not the case right now because at 14.23%, Nigeria's inflation rate is the highest in 30 months. In normal times, the GDP of a country increases because the more production of goods and services, the more people are employed, and the more they are employed, the more the companies expand, and the more goods and services they produce, and on and on. But sometimes the GDP falls in value and not increases. GDP is measured in quarters, but it's fine if it falls in one quarter and then increases again. But in a scenario where the GDP falls in 2 quarters in a row, you have a recession.
The reception of Nigeria is too bad, too bad. Imagine we are the one farming tomato, farming pepper, yet everything is still cost. The way we are buying pepper before is not the same amount that we are buying it now. Things is too expensive for now, as in everything. Even mangi is expensive, everything is expensive.
This Nigeria don't tire me. Everything high. Before they use 50,000 go market, but now 150 up, 100 and 130. Everything scatter.
Now, here are Nigeria's GDP growth since 2012. 2012, we had 4% GDP growth. 2013, we had 6.6% GDP growth. 2014, 6.3% GDP growth. 2015, 2.6% GDP growth. 2016, we had minus 1.6% GDP growth. In 2017, we had 0.8% GDP growth. 2018, 1.9% GDP growth. 2019, 2.2% GDP growth. While in 2020, the first quarter, we had 1.87% GDP growth, while the second quarter of 2020, we had minus 6.1% GDP growth, and in the third quarter of 2020, we had minus 3.6% GDP growth. It is also noted that from 2015, growth when they occurred were sluggish. A 0.8% or 1.9% growth in an economy like ours makes little or no impact on its people. In the same time frame that Nigeria experienced this low and negative growth, Ghana had 3.4% in 2016, 8% growth in 2017, 6.2% growth in 2018, and 6.4% growth in 2019, while Kenya was 6.3% in 2018 and 5.3% in 2019. The snail growth is exactly the reason why it seems as if Nigeria has been in recession throughout the last 5 years.
Well, affected the business generally because of the price high rocket and things, the sales drop because people couldn't afford the purchase again, so the sales has to drop. For example, this one before used to be 250, 300 naira, now is 400 naira. This one now is 500, 450. So rice, which is the major thing, a derica of rice is 450 naira now.
Recession has really affected me seriously because the prices that the clients need us to be doing the jobs for them has changed due to what we're buying in the market. For instance, the problem started from the foreign currency. Some things we used in cooking are imported goods, and dollar is expensive. So now, it's affecting us because our charges does not really suit customers' request. Now we have to make some loss. We're losing seriously, like the price of foreign rice, price of tomato paste, and prices of turkey, for instance. So it's so expensive that we're finding it very difficult to make some income profits.
Because I can't be able to go to North to buy my goods as the way where I used to go before to buy my goods because of this, how herdsmen and Nigeria economy, how it be. So I cannot meet up. I prefer to sell whatever they produce in Nigeria here, within the country or Lagos state here, than to go into North. Because one, it's too expensive now. No importation of rice again. And local rice is very hard to get. Because before you get local rice, you have to go to North. And to go into North, it's not easy way for me to go. And even one bag of rice, before we used to buy one bag of rice, like 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, but now it's 23,000.
Nigerian inflation hit a 4-year peak in February 2021 as food prices jumped more than 20%, heaping a financial pressure on households already faced with a shrinking labor market and a stagnant economy at a time of mounting insecurity. Inflation in double digits since 2016 reached 17.33%, driven by the impact of a coronavirus epidemic that has also induced a drop in the price of oil, Nigeria's main export, and weakened the naira currency.
Actually, the fuel price recently affects so many things. Both our foodstuffs, movements from one place to other. People are finding it difficult to, as in, people that wants to go to the island, because of the price and the transportation, instead of them paying 300, they are paying 500 now. So it's also affecting us, we commercial drivers, because we have over 50 passengers a day, but now we are having just 20, 30 a day because of the fuel increments.
I have affected my business so badly. You can see this, one of my bus. Since more than 2 hours, there's no passenger inside it. Because of the price of the transportation, people is running out, running away. They can't, because of the price, everything is costly, the fuel, oil, motor parts, you know. The tire that we normally bought at 7,000 is now 15,000, 16,000 naira, you know. So everything, the oil, even oil, ordinary engine oil, we normally buy at 4,250, it's now 5,000 something. Even to service the motor, to fuel the motor, maintain the motor, is a very big challenge to us.
They sell bottled water before. Bottled water is 15 naira. Now bottled water is 17 naira. See mineral where we dey drink 100 naira. If you eat the cashews, bottled water mineral now 120. See, okay, may we say explain where we start to the this naira money. 1 naira na ice scoby when I dey go primary school. We go use 1 naira buy ice scoby. But now 10 naira, you know they feed human being again. 1,000, you don't get value if you don't come out 100 naira. And where we dey hear say dollar dey hear 35,000, 100,000. Why our 1,000 no get value? Our 500 no get value. Our 200 no get value. 100 naira sef no get issue. Okay, come see about fuel. Fuel before, they said Jonathan no good. Make we no use one side. Jonathan no good abi. When Jonathan dey there, they sell fuel 95 naira, 100 naira, 125. When Obasanjo dey there, they sell am 75 naira, 65 naira. Okay, come see now, 162 naira, 65 naira. Going to 200. Where will they go, Nigeria? Where will they go?
However, the recent inflation reading was the highest since the 17.78% touched in February 2017. The economy was in a slump then and is teetering on the brink of recession now, having expanded just 0.11% in the fourth quarter.
Recession is when there is a decline in the economy, and for successive quarters, you have a drop in the gross domestic product of a nation, which is called the GDP, the total accruable income, both from the formal and informal sector. And then we said the economy is in recession. Don't forget that in 2020, we have a global pandemic, and in most countries of the world, government did a lot of palliatives and government did a lot of intervention in helping businesses across the globe. Agriculture was the mainstay of the Nigerian economy. Agriculture used to contribute 70 to 80% of our gross domestic product then. And now we import virtually everything that we eat in this country. Why can't we make investment in agriculture? Why can't we look at how we have liquefied natural gas in Nigeria? Why can't we look at that other than petroleum products, the gas component of it? There are areas in which we need to look at, and I also spoke about the fiscal and monetary policy. We need to make Naira stable. And how do you make Naira stable? That's the responsibility of the Central Bank of Nigeria, the exchange rate.